Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. You are not ordinary. No, no, no. You are not average. You didn't come into this world to blend in. You were born with a crown. Maybe the world tried to knock it off. Maybe life tried to make you forget it. But I'm here to remind you, you are a daughter of the King. Walk like it. I'm talking about the King of Kings, the one who breathed galaxies into existence. And he looked at you and said, that one, she's mine, not by accident, not by mistake, but with intention. You were formed with greatness in your DNA. So don't you dare walk through life like you're less than what God already said you are. Let them talk. Let them doubt. You don't need their validation when you've already been crowned by the Creator. You don't need to shrink so others can feel tall. You don't need to dull your light because some folks can't handle the shine. Stand up straight. Speak with fire. Move with grace. And when you walk into a room, let your presence preach before you say a word. You carry something different. You carry legacy. You carry purpose. That means you don't chase attention. You command respect. You don't compromise your standards. You set them. And when things get tough, when life gets loud, when the storm starts to shake your foundation, you remember who you are and whose you are. Because being a daughter of the King doesn't mean life's always easy. It means even when it's hard, you don't fold, you don't run, you don't break. You rise again and again and again. Because royalty doesn't retreat. Royalty adjusts her crown, lifts her chin, and keeps walking. Don't wait for the world to recognize your worth. Live in it, walk in it, own it, and don't apologize for it. Be kind, yes. Be humble, yes. But don't be invisible. Don't shrink. Don't hide. Because someone's watching you. A little girl, a younger sister, a future leader. And she needs to see what royalty looks like when it walks with purpose. You are royalty. You are chosen. You are enough. You don't need to earn the crown. You just need to remember to wear it. So walk like it. Every step, every breath, every decision, walk like you know who your Father is. And when the world forgets, remind them, not with words, but with how you carry yourself. That's power. That's royalty. That's you. You were not created randomly, and you do not exist by accident. Your identity is not found in the labels the world tries to throw at you, not in your past, not in your mistakes, not in your failures, and definitely not in the opinions of people who don't even know your story. Your identity was written by the hand of the King, the same God who set the stars in the sky, who shaped mountains with his word and carved oceans with his breath, looked at you and said, "This one is mine." That is not a small thing. That is not something you walk past like it's just another line in a book. That's royalty speaking life into you. That's divine power calling you by name. When you understand that you are a daughter of the King, everything shifts. You don't walk the same. You don't talk the same. You don't settle for less than what he placed inside you. You carry a divine signature on your soul. You've got eternal worth stitched into your being, and no circumstance, no loss, no betrayal can strip that from you. This world will try to make you forget. It will try to convince you that you're not enough, that you're too broken, too flawed, too late. But the crown doesn't fall just because life gets heavy. You still wear it even when it feels invisible. This divine identity means You were born with purpose. You're not chasing meaning, you are meaning. You're not looking for a seat at the table. Your Father built the table. So you can sit in confidence, not arrogance, not because of what you've done, but because of who He is and who He says you are. Royalty isn't a feeling, it's a fact. It's your birthright. Your worth isn't measured by how many people clap for you, how many likes you get, or how many rooms you're invited into. It's not found in a relationship, a job title, a bank account, or a mirror. Your worth was set before you ever spoke a word, before you ever made a mistake, before anyone had the chance to label you. It was defined by the one who created you. And He doesn't make anything without value. You were fearfully and wonderfully made, not cheaply assembled. That means you don't have to prove your worth. You just have to remember it. There's a world out there trying to sell you worth, telling you that you need to look a certain way, act a certain way, or achieve a certain level of success to be seen, to be loved, to matter. But here's the truth. Your value isn't up for sale. It isn't up for debate. It was sealed the moment God breathed life into you. And nothing anyone says or does can change that. People might overlook you, underestimate you, or walk away from you. But your worth doesn't walk away. It stays. It stands. It holds firm because it's rooted in something eternal. You are not too much or not enough. You are exactly who you were meant to be. And when you start to believe that, when you start to live like your value can't be shaken, everything changes. You stop settling. You stop begging for approval. You stop shrinking to make others comfortable. You begin to walk taller, speak bolder, and love yourself without apology. Because deep down, you know, not from ego, but from truth, that you are priceless. Not because of what you do, but simply because of who you are. You weren't put on this earth just to exist, to drift, to survive day by day without direction. There is purpose pulsing through your veins, planted in you by the same God who authored the universe. That means your life is not random. Your steps are not meaningless. There is a calling stitched into the fabric of your being, and when you start to recognize that, confidence follows, not arrogance, not ego, but a quiet, unshakable knowing that you are here for something bigger than yourself. Purpose isn't always loud. It doesn't always come with applause or flashing lights. Sometimes it whispers in the small things, in the way you show up for people, in the way you speak life into dark places, in the fire that burns in your heart when you do what you were created to do. And when you walk in that purpose, you don't need everyone to understand it. You don't need everyone to agree, because confidence in purpose isn't about external validation. It's about internal conviction. It's about knowing that even if the world doesn't see it yet, God already called it good. When you trust your purpose, you stop comparing, you stop competing, you start focusing, you start building, you start moving with clarity and courage. You understand that setbacks don't cancel purpose, they prepare you for it. Delays don't mean denial, they mean development. So you keep going, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Because something inside of you knows that your voice matters, your story matters, your work matters. And when you hold on to that truth, you begin to walk like someone who is on assignment. No fear, no hesitation, just a steady, grounded confidence that comes from knowing you were created on purpose, for purpose, with purpose. Grace under pressure doesn't mean pretending everything is fine. It doesn't mean smiling through pain or hiding your struggle behind a polished front. It means standing tall even when the weight is heavy. It means choosing composure over chaos when everything around you feels like it's falling apart. It's not weakness. It's strength wrapped in stillness. It's knowing who you are and who holds you, even when the heat is on and the pressure is real. Pressure has a way of exposing what's inside. When life squeezes you, what comes out isn't performance, it's character. And grace is the evidence of royalty under fire. You don't have to shout to prove your strength. You don't have to strike back to show your power. Grace is quiet but fierce. It's calm but commanding. It's soft, but it doesn't back down. It's choosing to respond, not react. To forgive, not to fight. To breathe, not break. There will be moments when people test your patience, when situations shake your peace, when disappointment tries to crush your spirit. But even in those moments, grace is your armor. Not because you're perfect, but because you trust the one who is. Grace gives you the wisdom to walk away from what doesn't deserve your energy and the courage to speak truth without losing your compassion. You don't have to prove yourself under pressure. You don't have to perform to earn worth. When you carry yourself with grace, even storms begin to respect your presence. Not because the storm stops, but because you don't. You stay grounded. You keep your dignity. You lead with love and strength. That's the power of grace. Not in avoiding the pressure, but in rising through it with your crown still steady and your heart still soft. Strength and faith isn't about having all the answers. It's not about never doubting or never struggling. It's about holding on when everything around you says let go. It's that quiet fire that keeps burning even when the wind blows hard. It's the kind of strength that doesn't always look loud, but it's deeply rooted, anchored in something greater than yourself. When your faith is strong, your circumstances don't define you. Your God does. And He is constant even when life is not. There are going to be days when the weight feels too much, when the road ahead looks uncertain, when fear tries to paralyze your purpose. That's when faith shows up, not as a feeling, but as a choice, choosing to believe that God is still working even when you can't see it, choosing to stand on His promises even when the ground shakes, choosing to trust that He's writing a story in your life, even in the chapters that don't make sense yet. Faith isn't just for the mountaintop moments. It's forged in the valley. It's built in the waiting, in the silence, in the struggle. And with every battle you've faced, with every prayer you've whispered through tears, your faith has grown stronger. That's where your strength is. Not in how loud you pray, but in how long you stay. Not in how perfect you seem, but in how persistent you are. Faith gives you the strength to get back up, to keep walking, to keep building, even when nothing looks finished. Because when you know who your source is, you don't panic when the storm comes. You lean in, you trust deeper. You keep walking like someone who's already won because your strength was never in your situation. It's always been in your Savior. Rejecting mediocrity means refusing to live beneath the standard that God has set for your life. It means understanding that you weren't created to simply exist, to just get by, or to blend in with whatever is comfortable. You were made to stand out, to rise above, to reflect excellence in everything you do, not because of ego, but because of who lives in you. You were created in the image of a God who does nothing halfway. That means excellence is in your DNA, and mediocrity should feel like a foreign language to your spirit. Mediocrity whispers, good enough is fine. It tells you to play it safe, to stay in the middle, to keep your dreams small and your voice quiet. But purpose demands more. It pulls you higher. It stretches you. It challenges you to wake up and show up, even when nobody is watching. Rejecting mediocrity isn't about perfection. It's about commitment. It's about being intentional with your time, your talent, and your energy. It's about refusing to waste what God placed inside of you. You weren't given gifts to bury them in fear. You weren't given a voice to silence it with doubt. There is greatness in you that won't activate until you stop settling for less than what you're capable of. That might mean walking away from comfort. That might mean disappointing people who want you to stay small. But you can't live a God-sized purpose with a mediocre mindset. Choosing to rise above mediocrity is a daily decision. It's in how you speak, how you work, how you love, how you lead. It's in how you carry yourself, even when no one is clapping. You don't settle because you know what you carry. You don't dim down because you know who lit your fire. Integrity and character are not just about how you act when people are watching. They're about who you are when no one's around, when there's no spotlight, no applause, and no reward. They are the quiet choices you make in the dark that shape the woman you become in the light. Being a daughter of the King means understanding that your life represents more than just you. You carry a name greater than your own, and with that comes the responsibility to walk in truth, to walk in honor, and to walk in consistency. Integrity means your words and your actions match. It means you follow through, even when it costs you something. It means you don't cut corners, don't chase shortcuts, and don't sacrifice your values just to get ahead. The world will offer you easier ways, tempting ways, faster routes, but you know that anything gained without integrity is a loss in disguise. Because true success isn't measured by what you have, but by who you are while you're getting it. Character is built choice by choice. It's how you respond when you're tested, when you're tired, when you're treated unfairly. It's how you speak about others when they're not in the room. It's how you carry yourself when no one says thank you. And it matters deeply. Not because people are always watching, but because God always is. And He honors those who honor Him, not just with their lips, but with their lives. When you walk in integrity, you walk with authority. When your character is strong, you don't have to pretend to be powerful. You are. You become a safe place, a trusted voice, a steady light. And in a world full of compromise, you become a reminder that real royalty doesn't shift with the crowd. It stands firm, even when it stands alone. Boldness in voice is not about being the loudest in the room. It's about speaking with clarity, truth, and conviction, even when your voice shakes. It's knowing that your words carry weight because your identity is rooted in something eternal. As a daughter of the King, your voice is not just noise, it's purpose. It was given to you to break chains, to speak life, to stand against injustice, and to declare truth in a world drowning in confusion and compromise. There will always be moments where fear tries to silence you, where doubt creeps in and tells you to stay quiet, to stay small, to blend in. But boldness is not the absence of fear. It's the decision to speak anyway. It's choosing to show up with courage, even when your confidence isn't fully there yet. It's trusting that what God placed inside of you is worth releasing. Through your words, your story, your truth, your voice matters. It matters in rooms where you're underestimated. It matters in conversations where truth is uncomfortable. It matters when someone else needs the courage to speak, and your boldness gives them permission. Being bold doesn't mean being harsh or arrogant. It means being honest, being clear, being unapologetic about what you stand for and who you stand with. You don't have to raise your voice to raise the standard. Sometimes boldness is in the stillness. Sometimes it's in the way you say no with grace, the way you say yes with purpose, the way you draw lines without building walls. Boldness is in the way you choose to use your voice for good, for healing, for truth, even when it's hard. Because when your voice is aligned with your calling, heaven backs your words, and nothing spoken in purpose ever returns empty. Compassion and leadership go hand in hand. True leadership isn't about titles or positions. It's about influence. And the most powerful form of influence is one that's rooted in love, understanding, and empathy. Compassion allows a leader to see beyond the surface, to understand the heart of the person in front of them, and to lead with grace, not force. It's the ability to listen without judgment, to lift others up even when you're not in the spotlight, and to make decisions that prioritize the well-being of others over self-interest. As a daughter of the King, you are called to lead with both strength and tenderness. Compassion doesn't make you weak. It makes you wise. When you lead with compassion, you are showing others that it's okay to be human, that vulnerability is not a flaw, but a strength. You create a space where people can thrive, not because of your authority, but because of the trust you build. And trust isn't built with power. It's built with understanding. It's knowing that leadership isn't about being the loudest voice in the room, but the most present, the most supportive, and the most considerate of the needs of others. Compassion in leadership means showing up for others, especially in their moments of weakness. It means being the one who encourages when the world criticizes, who gives a hand when others turn away. It means leading with a heart that is slow to anger, quick to forgive, and always ready to lift someone else higher, because great leaders know that their success is not defined by what they achieve, but by how many others they bring with them. Compassion is the thread that weaves people together, and leadership is the strength that carries them forward. Living set apart means understanding that you were never meant to blend in or conform to the patterns of this world. As a daughter of the King, you are called to a higher standard, not because you are better than others, but because your life is meant to reflect a different kind of glory, a glory that points back to the one who created you. To live set apart is to walk with purpose, to carry yourself with dignity, and to stand firm in your values, even when the world around you is shifting. It's easy to fall into the trap of comparison. to look around and think you need to be like everyone else to be accepted, to fit in. But being set apart means you don't need to follow the crowd. It means you are secure in your identity and unwavering in your purpose. You walk with confidence, not because of the approval of others, but because of the unshakable truth that you are a daughter of the King. You know who you are, and that makes all the difference. Living set apart doesn't mean isolating yourself or thinking you're above others. It means standing for something greater, higher values, higher principles, a higher calling. It means living with integrity in a world that often chooses convenience over truth. It means making choices that reflect your relationship with God, even when those choices are difficult or unpopular. It's the quiet strength of saying, when everyone else is saying yes, and the courage to speak out when silence would be easier. When you live set apart, you become a beacon, a living testimony to what it looks like to walk in faith, to walk in truth, to walk in love. You don't just stand out, you shine. And in your shining, you draw others to the light of Christ, showing them that living set apart is not a sacrifice. It's the greatest freedom. As daughters of the King, we are called to live with purpose, strength, and grace. From the moment we recognize our divine identity, we understand that we are not ordinary. We are heirs to a kingdom, empowered to walk in confidence and carry our worth with dignity. We are not defined by the world's standards, but by the Creator who made us for greatness. Every step we take is an opportunity to reject mediocrity, to stand firm in integrity, to speak with boldness, and to lead with compassion. Our lives are meant to reflect not only who we are, but whose we are. So let us live with the awareness that we are set apart for something greater. We are called to be the light in the darkness, the voice for the voiceless, and the leaders who serve with humility. When life gets tough, when we face challenges, we draw strength from our faith, knowing that God is with us, guiding us every step of the way. We don't walk through this life as ordinary women. We walk as daughters of the King with a purpose and a destiny that no one can take away. Our journey is not defined by the setbacks we face, but by the strength we find in our identity, the power we hold in our purpose, and the grace we extend to others. Let us walk with confidence, integrity, and boldness, knowing that we are exactly who God created us to be, royal, resilient, and ready to make a difference.